Yo, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy Burry Tone. In today's video, I'm going to be showcasing you guys the 60 FPS mod guide for Animal Crossing New Horizon on the PC for the Yuzu Emulator. But before we get started this video, please make sure you guys leave a like, share, and also subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Let's get it. Now, first things first, everything you guys will need will be in the description down below from the 60 FPS mod and also the ultra wide mod. Both of those will be in the description down below. Now, I do need to make a disclaimer before I start this process. Do keep in mind that for this process to be the most effective as possible, you guys basically need a really good computer. What I mean by that, you need a computer that's basically most up to date with the latest graphics card, with the latest Nvidia graphics card and the latest AMD device, and you need to have a good amount of RAM. Like I'm talking about like at least 20 gigs of RAM. So the reason why I say this, for this process to be most effective as possible, don't be thinking that you guys have like something like a 1050 or Nvidia chip that's 2060 and think this is going to work perfectly. No. The more up to date your graphics card is, the better. The more up to date parts you have, the better. Don't be coming under my comment section saying that it doesn't work. Why it doesn't work, you may ask? Because your PC is not up to date. That's the reason why it's not working. So I do need to make this as a disclaimer, because I've been having a lot of problems in the comment section due to the fact that they have been complaining that it doesn't work. Why it doesn't work, you may ask? Because obviously their PCs are not up to date. So yeah, I need to make that out of the way. So next thing is the process. So when you're on the Yuzu Emulator, you go to configuration settings. It's very important that you guys need to put everything in the graphics tab to at least the lowest possible settings, or leave it on the default settings. So what I mean by that, you need to turn certain things off that basically push the emulator to more powerful graphics, because in hindsight, when you're messing with emulation, the higher the settings are, the more demanding the GPU and the CPU is going to be. So you're not going to get 60 frames per second off the bat. The highest you may get is 30 FPS. So that's how the natural law of emulation has always been. So if you want to get higher FPS, the best way is to play on the most lowest resolution, or playing on default settings. So what I mean by that, when you go to the advanced tab, when you go to the tab where you see high or normal, you guys can either leave it on high, or to crack a notch a little bit, put it on normal. Also, you have to turn off VSync, because due to the fact that if you're trying to get games past 30 FPS, it's always good to turn off VSync. And this has been a natural rule in emulation for a very long time. If you want to have games going past 30 FPS, you always have to turn off VSync. This is basically a rule that's been used in many emulators before Yuzu. And also have OpenGL on. I wouldn't recommend Vulkan, because Yuzu Vulkan is not at a stage that it's playable at all, in my opinion. Yes, it runs, but it doesn't run as well as I like it to be. You can use Vulkan and it may work well for your PC, but in my opinion, OpenGL is the far better option so far as I'm recording this video. This shader cache, you can leave it on. GPU emulation, you can leave it on. You can leave everything on. After that, default is also good. 16:9, and borderless window is also good. So my real recommendation is using normal to high, and also take off VSync, because we're trying to play it in put our settings into the lowest resolution to get that 60 FPS out of the Yuzu emulator. After the CPU, leave it on auto is good. After that, if it's okay, As you guys see now, I'm on GPU normal. You can also put in GPU high and GPU normal. So right now, after the settings I just changed, is on GPU normal. So I believe that's the lowest you can possibly go, I believe, in the Yuzu emulator so far. Alright, so next thing, you're gonna need the 60 FPS mod, which I'll leave in the description down below. You do that, open mod data location. You drag and drop that there. Close it out. Go to properties, see if it works. As you see right here, 60 FPS hack. That's when you know that it's enabled. Press OK on that. Now you guys can also mess around with the ultra wide mod. I believe this is, I don't know, this is kind of like a 4K mod due to the fact that it has a higher resolution. It is 2560 by 1080. So that's obviously is enhancing that it's 4K, but in actuality it's kind of not 4K, but it's giving you a sense of why it's kind of like 4K, if that makes any sense. You guys can use this mod, but it may affect your performance when you're trying to go past 60 FPS, because when you're making the resolution a little bit higher, it's going to make it a little bit difficult for the emulator to try to push for that 60 FPS. So I kind of don't recommend using this at all. Alrighty, so after you do that, you can go to you're gonna left click, go to your Nvidia control panel, and then always when you're going to the Nvidia control panel, it also actually helps more than it is going to hurt you. Like I said, you always use your graphics card, adjust image settings with preview. We're always going to choose performance over quality because we're trying to push 60 FPS. Trying to push for the highest FPS in this case. Manage 3D settings. Always using your Nvidia graphics card. Now here you have the basic things that you need for emulation. Here they have VSync, which is, I told you guys before to turn it off on the Yuzu emulator. It's actually on for the Nvidia managed 3D settings. And they have stuff like buffering is also off. Shader cache, which is very important for emulation, I have that turned on also. Max frame rate, that's off. You can leave that off. And basically the default settings are usually good on the Nvidia 3D settings, because it's custom to what your PC is gonna pick the settings. It's automatically gonna pick the settings that's best for your PC, because most of the times it usually does for me. Alright, right here is basically the same setting, but it's like more of the global settings. Like you see, I have VSync, I have that also off, buffering off. It's basically the same thing, but it's like global settings. You can also use the Nvidia global settings also, but I choose to use the Nvidia high performance processor because I'm trying to push past 30 FPS. Then you're gonna add it. You're gonna pick Yuzu, add it to program, you apply it. And then you basically close it off. So that's basically it. This is basically the 60 FPS guide for Animal Crossing New Horizon. Like I said, if you guys are experiencing problems, let me know down below. Only tell me the certain problems you guys have. If you're experiencing any problems at all, only tell me if you guys have a really good PC that's up to date. You have the most up to date graphics cards, the parts that your PC needs for this process to basically run. If you're running into any other problems besides that, you can comment down below. But if you guys have something like a 1050 or something, a really low graphics card, and you don't have really good RAM, and you're complaining down in the comment section below that is not working, the reason why it's not working because you don't have a PC that's up to date. That's why you're experiencing these problems. So don't be coming under my comment section with that stuff. So I'm just telling you guys how it is, because that's just the reality of it. Yes, through time, when the Yuzu emulator gets better, these things are going to be capable of running 60 FPS because the emulation over time has gotten better. That's how emulation basically works. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, find this video any helpful at all, feel free to leave a like, share, and comment if you guys are new. And yeah, guys, this is your boy Brady. So I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Peace out.